Even when you're not an SM stan and just a regular K-pop fan, high chances are that you have at least once heard about the thing called SM-style genealogy when it comes to the visuals of the company's artists. Especially for their girl groups, the elegant, noble, and super chic vibe has always been vividly seen, from Gen 1 to Gen 3, through memorable names like Eugene, Yuna, Crystal, Irene, and Joy. That also explains why even when Kepler's Chaehyun left the company and said she was an ex-trainee from the company on Girls' Planet 999, people weren't so surprised because her visuals alone had already partially told everyone about her origin. While the solid idea about the SM-style genealogy, long embedded in everyone's mind, brings a huge pride and reputation to SM's artists, it also backfires at the company. Because when aespa debuted, the act was made fun of a lot, just because people thought they fell way behind such a genealogy. Because the visual of aespa is an outlier from the company's genealogy, mostly because they are the only act hopping on the girl crush trend of K-pop, netizens have constantly compared them to other companies' groups to find the face that fits the SM style better. Number 1. Wonyoung and Yuchin. While some may think that Wonyoung and Yuchin have just been explosively famous recently, thanks to their group's addictive hit and the investment of Starship Entertainment onto their individual promotion, the duo has actually been famous even very long before that, thanks to the visual that fits into the SM-style genealogy way better than the members of aespa. Back when aespa had just made another comeback with Next Level, and some members' visuals drew attention as they looked so different compared to the debut era, netizens started to bring aespa's appearance on the scale with Wonyoung and Yuchin's, saying that it's kinda weird to see how idols from other companies could fit into the SM style way better than SM's latest act themselves. Talking about Wonyoung, netizens believed not only her visual, but also her aura makes her the perfect SM artist, were she not working under Starship Entertainment. Compared to the trademark sweet, noble presence of all visuals from Gen 1 to 3 of SM, Wonyoung is said to check all the boxes. Not only that, the princess vibe vibrantly present in Wonyoung's ways of doing everything, from performing, talking, to even just walking, also reminded them of SM's vibe. Even when Wonyoung was just a little girl in IZ*ONE, many netizens have said that they were shook to see how much she fit into the SM mold. Put things in a funnier way, a netizen said that if female idols' values were like stocks, she would definitely buy Wonyoung at the very first sight. Because just like how most SM's idols would gain more reputation visual-wise as time passed, Wonyoung's fame about her visual would only increase over time. Besides Wonyoung, Yuchin was also believed to bear a strong similarity to many previous idols in SM Entertainment. Of course, it sounds kinda weird because Yuchin's visual doesn't have that much in common with Wonyoung's, but if you look at the SM style genealogy, which actually consists of 2 visual types, elegant like Yuna and chic like Crystal, you will see Yuchin fits to the standard, as she has a neat and high-fashion look to her face. The contrast in Yuchin and Wonyoung's visuals can best be seen when they stand next to each other like this. And while Wonyoung stands out with her sparkling princess look, Yuchin garners lots of attention thanks to her chic and posh aura. Number 2. Jisoo. Apparently, Jisoo will appear on this list because if her name was ever not here, the list would always be incomplete. On many forums where people open topics like, who are female idols from other agencies that fit into the SM-style genealogy, Jisoo was always put on top of the list because of the staggering similarity between her visuals and the standard of SM. With a fair complexion, heart-shaped lips, high nose, and especially the bright eyes that can light up the whole room when Jisoo smiles, it is no doubt that people will expect a visual like her under an SM's act rather than YG's. Moreover, because she also emits a warm, bright, and elegant aura, rather than the swaggy and badass vibe of YG Entertainment, many were confused to see such an element in an act of YG. In fact, when Jisoo had just debuted, she used to be constantly said to be the younger version of SES's Eugene, aka the most beautiful idol of Gen 1, because of their staggering similarities. Especially when they smile, the resemblances stood out even more vividly, because they both have the sharp heart-shaped lips, same type of long V-shaped facial structure, and an extremely sweet smile. That's also why, among many nicknames like Chu, Chichu, and Jisoo Turtle Rabbit Kim, people in the media sometimes also call her the YG idol with an SM face. The most interesting thing is that not only fans, but Jisoo and SM Entertainment themselves were also well aware of how her visual fit perfectly into the company's genealogy. Because, according to her words, when appearing on NBC's Radio Star with Rosé in 2017, SM's manager had tried at almost all costs to scout her. Because this person even took the risk to reveal his identity as a staff member from SM Entertainment just to get her on board, Jisoo also had to pull out the YG trainee card to turn down that insistent invitation. Number 3. Red squares green. Surprisingly, the world is unbelievably round, as somehow in 2020, Red Square debuted, and Kpop then welcomed another stunning visual matching perfectly into the SM's genealogy: green. What's even more mind-blowing is that she doesn't simply fit in the company standard for the elegant visual and the noble aura, but also for the fact that she shares a huge resemblance to both Jisoo and Eugene. That's why, despite coming from an extremely small company, Green still manages to garner a fair amount of attention, making her the doppelganger of the two top visuals with a face gathering all the best traits. Also for that, many believe that had Green debuted under SM Entertainment, she would have had a way more thriving career, and down the road, there are also high chances that she would bag home a high-end fashion brand ambassador contract, and a glittering acting career like Jisoo. Number 4. Woowa's Nana. Looking at the way that female idols of the later generations are and will be picked, it's hard to deny that the SM-style genealogy has had a huge impact on the general criteria. Because, besides Green, Nana is also a Gen 4 idol that is chosen to take on the group's visual role, and also garners lots of attention thanks to the staggering resemblance to Irene's visual. With the typical bunny face that SM Entertainment has been loving, a super-duper small face, and tiny nose, complemented well by the big double-lidded eyes, the SM vibe Nana carries is so strong that back in June 2021, she made headlines everywhere for being as pretty as the visual goddess Irene. Especially when Nana had a see-through bang and smiled brightly in the group's cover of Red Velvet's Power Up, people couldn't help but exclaim her visuals, and how she made the whole thing look as if it was Irene performing the song. However, do you know what's the most interesting thing about this staggering resemblance? After netizens found out about Nana's visuals through those headlines and videos, they started to literally rummage everything about her on the internet, and ended up becoming solid fans. People also found out that not only her visual, but also her aura and vocal color also fit well into the SM standard. Because just like Irene, her voice is bright enough to sing cute songs, but also low enough to carry all the rap verses of the group. Do you think these idols really possess the typical SM face? Are there any other names you want to add to the list? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.